Hello guys, welcome so much to this channel. We thank God this awaited day is here with us. Tumetamani sana kufanya hii kitu, but finally it's here. So karibuni sana. Kama huja subscribe fanya hivyo, go there tafadhali. It's your support that I need. So just click on that subscribe button. Una hapo hivyo ka notification, kumbuka ku click pia, so that whenever any video is given out unaipata on time. And here with me I have two of my best friends here. Actually we are in Laikipia campus. Kiangalia vizuri, this is a wonderful place, a very cool place, na it's a place worth staying and a place worth enjoying. So I have two of my best friends here, na tungependa sana ku share of what is happening outside here. Na kumbuka life ni kama kampira hivi. So one person will hit it on one side, the other person will hit it on another side. So on your side it may be good, and on another person's side it may be bad. Na kumbuka mpira unaenda unafika kwa goalkeeper ataushika. So you see ni kama ametuliza. Na maybe one time pia life itakuwa imetulia kwako, na kwa mwingine pia iko imetulia. So just go slowly, don't compare yourself to others, but life is worth living. So without much ado, ningependa wajiintroduce na tuendelee hapo. So brother, kindly introduce yourself. Tuambie wewe ni nani, tuambie unafanya nini, ama unasoma wapi. Najua unasoma Laikipia lakini lazima tuambie. Anyway, now
Thank you very much. So my name is Brian. My name is Brian Sevela. I'm a student here in Laikipia University. I'm taking communication and media, and I'm blessed of the Lord today to have this kind of conversation. I trust and believe that it is going to benefit someone outside there, that whenever or whatever you are going through, you just have to have that belief that there will be a way out. Yeah.
Thank you. Believe there will be a way out. So, to you?
Okay, I'm Agnes Kiprono, a student in Laikipia. I'm a fourth year, taking education, arts, English and literature. And I thank God for this chance.
Agnes and Brad. So, these are the two that we have today. Na kumbuka pia, maybe uko hapo nje, you are going through an issue. Usikalie sana ukasema sasa mimi nitafanyaje. There are so many people out there who can help you. So kumbuka, by talking to someone is one way of getting help. Na maybe now to you two, in the entire life since you are born, there must be something, maybe umepitia hali fulani, si ndio? Yenye in one way it was good, na pia kuna time ulipitia hali yenye ni semi soft, yenye ilikufurahisha. And now maybe in a minute or two you can maybe tell us how your life has been since you started maybe primary. Let's just start from primary mpaka huko penye umefikia. How has been life?
Asante tena. I'll just have to share a little bit of my experience. My life has not been that much easy, as I will say. Maybe it may not have been that yenye tunaweza sema pia kwa mwingine naweza mwambia kwamba imekuwa easy, alafu nikamtolea ushuhuda wangu na akasema hicho si kitu. But for my life, I think it has just been by the grace of God that I've reached at this moment of time. I started schooling, I think it was back in 2006, and now I'm in fourth year. I'll be graduating in this year 2023. That's by the hand of God. So I started my primary school education in a public primary school, whereby I schooled there, and it was kind of some troubles because that school was the one that was just starting. So we had to go some kind of troubles growing in that school. I think we were the first one to take the KCPE examinations in that school. So we were the one that were paving way for the other pupils that went through that school. And now after that, by God's grace, I was able to join a school whereby I joined an extra county school. It was just by the grace of God. I joined an extra county school. Yeah. And now, you know, in extra county schools, it is a big school. And now you're encountering people from diverse places, different parts of the nation. And now when you come together, I was just coming from a local background where I had not known how to interact with many people. So for me, it gave me some bit of difficulties in encountering some different people. I come from a Luya land, and now during this time I was encountering people, maybe some are Taitas, some are Gikuyus, some are Luos. I had to cope up with that kind of environment by allowing myself to learn some kind of new things. And so I learned through those, sometimes it was a bit challenging because you could do something and then unakuta rafiki anakwambia mbona unafanya hiki, wewe ni Mluya, like your accent will just tell who you are, and sometimes even just the habit of eating wakati unakula Yes.
Before we endelee, umesema in this primary you are the first group to start this school.
Yeah.
So how did you manage? Because kwa hivyo highly ndo kinda extra county. Because I'm sure kwa shule yenye imeanzishwa it kinda walimu ni wageni, like everyone is new, sindio?
Yeah.
Na shule haijashika ile mwendo mzuri. So you are the first people. How did you manage to score that high?
Yeah, it was a bit challenging because that school had just been started in a small local church. Then after some time, we went through some processes whereby the school was now registered, and it was registered while we were in class 6. Now in class 6, we were brought a new head teacher. We were brought some few teachers. During the time when we were in class 7 is when we were given about 4 teachers. Now when we were in class 8, we had a total of 8 teachers. So the 8 teachers, the public now, those that had been employed by the government, they were 8. Now we were in a school of 8 teachers who were public.
It was a private school.
It was initially a private school, but then it was registered while we were in class 6. Okay. Now by the time we were in class 8, it was a public school. Yeah. So we went through hard times. Some of these teachers, I may not say they were not that much experienced because they never need to pass, but we had also to engage ourselves into some thorough reading. I think the greatest of my motivation that made me to work a bit harder while I was in primary school was my mom. My mom was the one who was motivating me because of some kind of problems and the difficulties that we were passing through when we were at home. She was the one encouraging me and telling me, Brian, you have to work hard and make it in life.
The love of the mother.
Yeah. So those are the challenges that we passed through, but by God's grace, we were able to make it.
That's good. So you are in high school, in this extra county school, you have met a lot of people, a lot of other different ladies and gentlemen from everywhere.
Yeah.
And now you are there, you don't know anything. How did you cope with this new environment?
You know, there is a saying that goes this way, that change is inevitable. And unless you accept change, you cannot move on. So I had to accept change, and I had to accept that I've met new people, and I have to start a new life. So I had to dive into that kind of environment and then start a new life. And for sure, I know it was also by God's grace. I am a believer. I trust in God. I believe in God. And I know that God's grace also backed me up to be able to go through that system.
That's wonderful. We'll get back to you.
Thank
so let's hear from Agnes.
Okay, for me, back in those years, I started school in a private school. Those preschool, I was in a private. Then coming to class 1, I was to be taken to a public school. To cope up from being a private school kid to a public school, it wasn't that easy because life becomes so different. You get to encounter those students who are rude, those who gone through a tough life. So then there you are coming from private and it becomes like, yeah. Yeah, but I had to cope from class 1 up to class 5. In class 6, I was taken to a boarding school. Now life became very tough because now you have to leave, stay away from your parents. You have to remember that. Stay away from your parents, and now you should have food.
This was still primary.
Yeah, from class 6 to class 8. Issue na food night becomes a problem. Kuibiwa becomes a problem. You cry. I remember the first time I joined, the second day actually. Someone took my blankets. And I woke up at night feeling very cold. So sikujua ni nani huyo alinichukulia blanketi. Alafu hiyo siku ya kwanza umeenda na net. You can imagine that net venye inakuanga mpya, then umewashwa umechukuliwa blanketi. Umelala tu na so I cried. Then your parents, ukumbuke mzazi wako hayuko hapo. So you have to go, you have to unashikilia life, una get to used to it. Then tukamaliza hadi class 8. Nilimaliza after challenges mingi sana.
Wewe hukuwahi kuwa tempted pia kuiba?
Hapana. In fact, the person mwenye alinibia kwanza nilipata blanketi. Then she told me I don't know mwenye alileta hapa. Alafu she was in class 8. So singebishana na yeye. Mimi mdogo hapo.
Ile nzuri ulipata.
Yeah, nilipata. So it wasn't issue na kuibiwa buckets, ni issue na maji, you go sometimes water inapotea, unaenda mtoni. Hapo ndio unasikianga maisha. But we managed, nikapita vizuri. I went to I joined also a extra county school, and now here I am. God has enabled me.
That's wonderful. You know, tulisomea group of schools. I remember one time ukiwa primary, we'll just have one shot. And that shot could mean everything. Na sio hiyo ni ya shule peke yake. You'll find yourself huko nyumbani. You are still using the same shot. Hadi unaenda church nayo. But God help us manage it. So that is how life has been in school. And now you finished primary, you finished secondary and passed very high. Let me say high. Kwa sababu mtu kujipata campus unasema ni neema, inagharimu mkono wa Mungu. Si kila mtu. Very true. Yeah, so how did you feel kwamba umepita wewe ndio huyo sasa unaingia campus? How did you feel?
Yeah, for me, for example, in our school, people used to pass, and therefore going to campus was not that big issue to me, because the moment we are just joining Form 1, we are being assured that you cannot be in such a big school and fail to join campus. So that was also another kind of motivation that we are being given, and then we just knew that the moment we enter this school, it was automatic that we are going to join campus. But now, after we had finished school, the major problem now came when we had finished and we were to choose on the kinds of courses that we are going to pursue while in campus. Now, like we can now see the kinds of limitations that the government have put around. And like every kind of course you want to take medicine, like you've passed biology, you've passed chemistry, but because of mathematics you failed to join that kind of course, or you want, like I was seeing many of my friends who wanted to take education, and now it is like you cannot take education unless you have a C play in English or in mathematics you have a B+. And now those kinds of limitations were the one now that were bringing some kind of challenges in choosing the courses that we wanted to partake in while in campus. But for me, I had that passion to take communication and media. I took communication and media with my passion. I had related with some friends of mine who had already joined the field, and they were assuring me of how beautiful media is, of how wonderful media is. And then I just had that passion, and I was telling myself since I was in Form 3 that one day I must become a journalist. And when I had finished, the major problem for me was to take now the kind of or the university to join in. Yeah, I had to look around and see which kind of university to join. The problem for me, because I had come from some local area there in a remote area in Bungoma, whereby even my parents had not yet not known what a university looks like. And now they were telling me choose a university that its expenses are not that high. Now I had to choose. I had to look around and see where life is not that much high, that's much costly, expensive. And then I saw Laikipia, and then I came to Laikipia, and I found it really amazing. Life is so good in this place. Life is so cheap in this place. We are really enjoying staying in this campus.
Oh, so you're doing a course of your choice and
I'm
your passion.
taking a course of my passion. I'm really enjoying taking it.
How do you see you being the citizen TV now, broadcasting or presenting news?
Yeah. I always see myself taking or broadcasting news every time. It is like always every time I go to sleep, I see myself in the studio giving out news. So I'm just waiting for that time. I'm really looking forward to that time.
Agnes, you had you are going to university, or you had passed well. In fact, that first is it let me say the news, the very first news you got were you have passed. How did you take it?
I was happy. In the first place, when we were almost doing our KCSE, we went through a tough session in December because our principal wanted us to read on our own, to do everything on our own, but it reached a time she locked us. The program was changed for Form 4s only for us to eat. No, not Suma Pabidi. Just to eat, go and sleep because you don't want to read. She was saying, if you don't want to work hard, or if you don't want to work smart, or you don't want to pass, just sleep. I want all the Form 4s to sleep, to be sleeping. So the program was for us to eat and sleep. Eat and sleep, and the lights were put on off. Then there was someone who was to check us on us. Kama tunaamka kusoma. We were not supposed to read. In the morning, tuamke 7, twende tukunywe tu breakfast, kuje class, yeah. And that ilitufanya tukakuwa hard pia sisi. We had to tukaamka but ungepata kuna wanafunzi wanafurahia hiyo kwenda kulala, but wewe uko hapo unaumia roho. But we did our KCSE and tukapita kwenye
2018.
Yeah. The ones who wenye tulimanage kuja campus. And now after that results zimetoka. I remember my results was sent by someone. Si mimi mwenyewe nilituma. Mtu alituma then akaniforwardia because I was shocked. In the first place. So time to apply campus during application nilikuwa nimechanganyikiwa. I wanted to do a quantity survey in Nairobi, but haikuwezekana. So I applied for education and ICT. Then I was given ICT in Kabarak. So I had to do a transfer to the campus. And I met a friend, okay, she's my neighbor. Akaniambia, you want to come to Laikipia? Then she akuniexplainia vitu mingi. So mimi nimemwona, she's okay, she's well, okay. Yeah.
Mbona hukutaka kwenda Kabarak?
Kabarak because it was expensive. I had to look for at least in Nezan Favor. You know, it's a private university.
Yeah.
So I had to look for and you know, they normally give time for changing, if you want to change the university. They should usually give a chance and a certain period. So when I was going to the cyber to look for another university, Laikipia was there, Embu was there. Yeah. So I chose Laikipia. I chose to come to Laikipia, and because you only have one option. The first day I came to Laikipia, the place was cool. I enjoyed. Now I'm still enjoying my final year.
Yeah. Okay, that is it. Now, I'm sure in all this time, in the journey from primary to secondary and now to university, there might be an issue. Maybe kuna kitu ili happen ama kuna kitu ilitokea yenye it was kind of so hard to you, like a situation yenye ilikuwa so hard. Has there been any? Yes. Not only in campus but kutoka primary, secondary na campus, like yenye ilifanya useme hii nayo nikipita hapa then there is nothing hard that I won't be able to make.
Okay, in primary life wasn't that hard, but in high school now, challenges of many, including financial issues. You find mnafukuzwa fees. Hizo time za kitambo maybe umezoea mzazi huwa ana provide, you get everything, but now kuna siblings wengine pia they want to go to school pia wao, so you get unapata mnafukuzwa fees sometimes, ni kutumwa fees kufukuzwa unatumwa mwenda mlete fees, yeah. So life wasn't that easy, but God has been great up to here. Hata hapa huku campus pia financial problem people do, but we cope.
Anything out of education? Like life issue maybe labda mzazi alisema we leo hii hautaingia kwangu weenda. There is cases where unapata mzazi anasema tu wewe hautakuwa mtoto wangu kutoka leo. Ama weza tafuta mahali unaona pale end of weke hapo nyumba yako. Anyway, has there been any such kind of situation? Tough situation? That's good of you. Let me say good of you. And to you?
Yeah, for me, I've passed through some kind of challenges. I remember while I was in high school, there was a time, you know, when you are in high school, that's when adolescent stage is at high. And now, while we are in high school, around Form 2, we engaged ourselves in some kind of mischiefs, and then we were given a suspension. We were given a suspension around 11 of us while we were in high school, and then we had to go back home. I remember that day when I reached home, my dad was there sitting there at some resting place at my place, and then when he saw me carrying my box and my mattress, he was so amazed and was so furious at me. And then he even didn't talk to me. I carried my things, I put them in my house, and then I came out. I tried passing around him so that he could say anything, but he was just quiet. I wondered, now, what will this man do to me? But I stayed that day. He didn't tell me anything. I remember now, that evening, it is when my mom came from job, and then when she arrived home, she's the one who asked me of why I was at home. But my dad was just quiet. And then after I had told mom the mischiefs that we had engaged in, he told me that he was going to talk to my dad. And then the next day is when my dad asked me of why I was at home. I explained to him, and it was a very tough time for me. I remember now, it was like just, he just wanted like killing me, because he was looking at the kind of life that we are living at home, and he was telling me that I was going to school to play instead of reading or instead of learning. So he was just so furious. And then after that time, we finished that whole week at home, and then I had to go back to school now to face the disciplinary. We reached our school, we were caned. It was so tough for me. That was my toughest time. And I think when I passed that one, when I pass through that tribulation, I think I'm good to go. I'm good to go. Yeah.
So now, after that time, now you came back home and everything just went back to normal. Like
Yeah.
Dad had no issue anymore.
Yeah, after that I decided to be a good boy. I decided to work hard in my studies. You know, during that time, in fact, I was not performing at school. I was not doing well at school, and then there comes a suspension and sent home, and this boy that is not performing at school has again been sent home. So it means you are going to school to play around. So in fact, let me just say the truth. I was caned by my dad. Akanipiga, and then after that is when we went again back to school. I was caned at school. Then I just decided and said to myself, I just have to change my ways. I had to go for the right things.
That is how life has been.
Yeah.
So I think we won't add much more, but in every situation I know God was the one who was providing a way.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the way he says that he has a good plan for us, maybe he had planned that you will reach campus. That's why he had to execute that, so that you reach where you are now.
Sure.
And so I think I need to thank you guys so much. And I'm sure you'll revisit this so that we can continue from this place or from this point, and maybe talk more and more even as time will allow us. And so thank you so much. Feel very much appreciated, and I'm sure one day things will happen.
Thank you.
And things will be good.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Mungu awabariki sana, and I'm happy to have friends like you, by the way.
Thank you.
You add something in my life, and I'm sure there is also someone somewhere whom you have added a value in their lives, and even to someone watching, you are actually adding value to them.
Sure.
So maybe you are there, outside there is issues day in, day out. Remember, one person to talk to is God, and then second person to talk to, maybe it's your friend. But never die with a situation that you can maybe could have shared with someone na ikaweza kukuwa solved. So uko pale nje, situations zisikuue, please talk to someone, and you will realize that maybe yako ilikuwa tu kadogo, and maybe someone you are talking to had maybe a piled issues that he had solved earlier. Na hapo you will find a solution. So thank you so much for your time. Remember what? Subscribe. Remember to comment hapo chini. Kama kuna kitu imekugoza, comment hapo hivyo tujue ni nini hicho. Na if also you are there and you would like to share your story, please reach out. Kuna namba nitaweka hapo chini. You can reach out to me so that we can help others. Through you, we can help others. That you cannot live without having a purpose. Remember, you can only live ukiwa na purpose. And remember also, maisha yenye tuko nayo saa hii hatujui yataisha lini, so we prepare ourselves well even for tomorrow and leave everything to God. So Mungu akubariki sana. Kumbuka kusubscribe, kumbuka kucomment hapo. We know that this video has made something or has changed something in your life, and by that, God bless you. Bye.